Do y'all remember Sims? Did anybody else used to play Sims when you were a kid? I need to leave my fucking house more often and maybe make some new friends. But do you remember in Sims, like if they had happy interactions, then they'd have like the plus signs like over their head. So it'd be like +1, +2, +3, depending on how happy they were. They'd have like the little hearts. I want people, I want people to go to a new site with women and instantly have like +2, +3, or like little hearts just because it's a woman, because they've had good experience working with other women before. Hello cupcakes. My new intro is going to be welcome back, it's been a minute, because I'm like 99% sure that's what I had to say in the last one and the one before it, and I had to do like a reintroduction video. Anyway, we already know I'm not consistent. It's not for lack of trying, it's because all I do is fucking work. Which is kind of a good segue into today's topic, which is work-life balance struggles, especially with the FIFO lifestyle. So if you are new here, my name is Kevin. I went to school for diesel engine repair for industrial and marine, and then I accidentally got into millwrighting. So I got my red seal as a millwright here in Canada, and ended up changing career paths at like the 10-year mark. I think it was like a decade into being a millwright. Now I am a maintenance planner and scheduler for reliability. Basically, I plan out the jobs that the trades get to do, which is kind of cool. So it's all come like full circle. We are trying to implement better planning practices in my company. We are trying to grow and improve. It's still kind of a startup. So I have a really hard time with like putting on all my blood, sweat, and tears and taking the training that I have and like mentoring other people and trying to just set little like foundational baby steps in place to get us where we want to go, and then just fucking leaving it for 3 weeks and coming back and hoping that it's like still at least got a little bit of continuity. So I've been working pretty much non-stop because I haven't had anybody dependable, or anybody, like half the time I don't even have a cross shift period. I haven't had anybody to do the same work that I'm doing. So I end up feeling like obligated to either stay on shift to cover, or come up early to cover, or recently I've been working from home. So it doesn't really leave a whole lot of time for anything. So I think a lot of this ties into being a woman in a male-dominated area, mostly because my sisters out there, like I know you can relate, you have to force yourself to work at least twice as hard as everybody else just to like prove that you can sit at the table with everybody else. And that's not to say that that's anybody else's perception of it, but I think that most of us as women, it's almost automatic, it's almost ingrained to us. Like, if you are in a male-dominated area, you show up, you do your work, you do it to the best of your motherfucking capabilities, you do it twice as hard, you always find ways to like improve yourself or educate yourself or, you know, support the team, blah, 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 whatever it is. So I think that that's kind of an added, like a self-inflicted pressure that kind of comes with it. So that's another reason why I am really struggling with like the work-life balance, because I don't know how to just let it go. I think I've almost got like imposter syndrome, as weird as that sounds. Like I've been in my down this career path, I guess, like as a planner for the last 2.5 years. What is this? Or am I like fucking marky mark? No, bro. Okay. Chill, Kev. Chill. I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, and I still feel like I'm brand new on the job. Sometimes it takes me having to step back and like mentor other people and teach other people and be like, oh, well, this is how I figured that out, or this is how I do that, to actually see like how much I have grown and how much I have learned and like how okay I am at my job. But a lot of the time I just feel like I constantly have to prove myself to everybody else and myself more than anything, because I feel like I don't know shit, you know? I just feel like, fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's like imposter syndrome coupled with everything else. So I just find it's a little bit more of a struggle as a woman because of all of the things that we have to deal with on a regular basis. And it is a lot of like self-imposed pressure, I think is how they put it diplomatically, self-imposed. And I almost feel this like obligation to my fellow ladies in trades too, because I've been on jobs, like including the site that I'm on right now. When I was a millwright with this site years ago, one of the guys that I worked with had never worked with a female millwright before, and so like thank fuck I didn't know that. My first like a week with him, that would have been some pressure on me for sure. But we ended up working together. He taught me a ton actually. He was cool as shit, and at the end of it he was just like, you know what, this experience was so much better than I expected. I'm like, oh well, I mean, we're doing maintenance, we're changing bearings, we're tracking fucking belts, like I'm glad it was better than you were expecting, because it was pretty much what I was expecting. And he's like, no, I mean like I've never worked with a woman before. And I was just like, what do you mean? He was just like, I've never met another female millwright, I've never worked with another woman, so I have to say like I'm super pleasantly surprised, like no offense. And I'm like, of course, no offense. But if I had known that going in, like I always feel this pressure to I'm a type A and I'm a control freak and I'm a perfectionist. Like I need to be killing whatever I'm doing anyway, just because that's my personality. But even more so when it comes to trades, because I know not everybody likes women in trades. Not everybody thinks that we should be doing trades. Anyway, I try to do an extra good job so that the next time one of the guys that I work with is on a job and there's a woman, their first thought isn't, oh fuck, like hopefully she's not a princess, hopefully, you know what I mean, like all the same old shit that you always hear. I want them to go into that next job not even thinking about it, because I've already worked with a woman who did like pull her weight, who did do a good job, who did ask questions, who did, you know what I mean, show up. So it's the same thing in my role too. We don't have any other female planners technically right now, just not shocking. But I want to leave like a good enough impression with the people that I'm working with, that if they go to the next job and there's female planners, again, the first thing they're thinking isn't going to be, oh fuck, it's a woman, like what did we do? They're not even going to think about it because they've already had that experience and it's been a good one. Or they're going to be like, hey, last woman I worked with was really fucking good and she mentored people, she asked questions, she was good at her job, she tried to be good at her job. I want them to be able to take that and instantly have... Do y'all remember Sims? Did anybody else used to play Sims when you were a kid? I need to leave my fucking house more often and maybe make some new friends. But do you remember in Sims, like if they had happy interactions, then they'd have like the plus signs like over their head. So it'd be like +1, +2, +3, depending on how happy they were. They'd have like the little hearts. I want people to go to a new site with women and instantly have like +2, +3, or like little hearts just because it's a woman, because they've had good experience working with other women before. Anyway, let me know if you can relate. Anyway, Sims comparisons aside, there's always that extra pressure, but for the most part, except most of the women that I've run into over the years, like you work twice as hard, you aren't allowed to whine, you're not allowed to complain, you have to have a thick skin, all these things that are in other videos, like it comes with the territory. But I feel an extra obligation to go above and beyond and try to set things up well so that I don't like tarnish being a woman in trades, if that makes sense. I've talked a lot about this, but whatever, fuck this. This channel, the whole point of this channel is like being a woman in trades. So anyway, that's my perspective. That's how I've been feeling. That's why I've been working way too fucking much. And if you want to know how way too fucking much, I actually worked it out earlier. So if you're like a normal person, even probably like normal in the FIFO world, because it always tries to like balance out with whatever you would work at home. But if you are a normal human being working 40 hours a week, at the end of the year, so 12 months would be 1,920 hours-ish. So give or take around the 2,000 hour mark every year. For the FIFO lifestyle, it's no different. Like if I worked my set shift, every shift, I'd be like probably like 100 or 200 hours over that, maybe. Last year I worked like 3,000 hours, which is just fucking gross. So like no wonder I didn't do anything last year. All I did was fucking work. And so that's why in like January this year I was just like, all right, I'm gonna set boundaries. I'm not doing overtime. Like I'm gonna enjoy my time at home. I've got like an apartment finally that I love. I've got a space that I love. Like I'm free. I'm over the fucking heartbreak that fucked me up a while ago. Like life is good. Like I want to enjoy being me and figure out who I am outside of my job and outside of that relationship. Okay. Well, didn't go to fucking plan, quite obviously, because last year at this time I had worked 1,600 hours. This is end of July, 1,600 hours. That's fucking stupid, okay? I I got my pay stub the other day. Yesterday, I should say the other day. Yesterday, time's blurring because of this fucking flu. I'm already at 1,500 hours. 1,500 hours I've worked this year. It's fucking July 30th. Like, so much for you're not gonna work your life away. You're gonna balance shit out. Again, 100% on me. I'm the one that kept saying yes to the overtime. I'm the one that kept kind of putting it up. You get what you allow. That's like a life cliche that I think is very applicable. I need to nut the fuck up. We already know this. I can't keep going at the rate that I've been going either. I think because I've got this like shitty fucking flu. It's not COVID. I've tested a bunch of times. I'm actually like 99% sure that I'm immune to COVID. I still haven't had it after like the last 2.5 years. And despite being on like an outbreak site and like family members being exposed, they didn't catch it either. But I've got this like nasty fucking flu. And when I was talking to my brother about it, because I was just like, man, like I'm just beat to shit. Like I don't understand what the fuck's going on. And he was just like, maybe it's your body's way of telling you to chill the fuck out. Like you've been talking about like being nervous about burning out for the last like couple months now. Like maybe this is your body's way of forcing you to take a fucking break. Like you can't keep going the way that you've been going and expect nothing to happen. So I think it's just like a very startling, like almost reminder of the promise that I made myself at the beginning of the year. I want work-life balance. That's the whole point of doing the FIFO. It's gotten to the point the last couple months where like I'm like, fuck, I don't even want to do FIFO anymore. Like for what? Because my tax bill's fucking insane at the end of the year. I don't have a life. I don't see my friends. I don't see my family. Like I don't ever feel like I truly just spend time relaxing or like, I don't know, chasing my dreams and stuff, man, you know? Because all I do is work, and when I'm not working, I'm still working. So I'm actually not even like mad about not getting paid right now, and like pretty much my body forcing me to stay home because I need a break. And this is where like the struggles of the work-life balance, particularly when it comes to FIFO, comes in. And again, this is where I'm like imploring anybody that has advice, like hook a sister up, because I know I need to set better boundaries. I hope you're not here for advice on how to get work-life balance. I'm basically here to tell you what not to do. Like clearly don't do what I do. This shit don't work. And actually along that same like thread of thought when it comes to the burnout, I read a thing, Australia's on their shit, man. I would love to work in Australia one day. I would love to do FIFO in Australia. Also would like to just go like fucking tootle around the outback. But one of the articles that I read about burnout, particularly when it comes to FIFO life, came from Australia, and they like, as a general rule, they will go above and beyond to make sure that their employees do have that work-life balance, and that their employees do have like less stress loads, and they do whatever they can to help people, because there's a significantly higher like risk and rate of burnout when it comes to people who do the fly in fly out for like a multitude of reasons. They take it super seriously, because when you burn out, it's not just like physical, it's mental too. I almost feel like I've been depressed, you know what I mean? Like don't want to get out of bed, not enjoying my job anymore, not getting any job satisfaction. I feel like I can't even separate like who I am from my work anymore. I don't know who I am outside of work. So obviously the last like 2 weeks of not working has been in bed. I read like 13 books, I kid you not. So I've been like sleeping and reading, haven't been going to the gym, haven't been seeing anybody. I've just been like fucking dying. And then I had this like moment of panic where I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, well then I'm gonna have like real days off, and I booked vacation for August because I'm going to Ireland with my best friend. And I was just like, well fuck, what do I spend my time doing? Like I should turn on my computer, I should check my emails, maybe I should be doing some work. And I'm like, or figure out who the fuck you are outside of your job. Like we work to live, we don't live to work, you know? That was one point that I did want to make, especially when it comes to the FIFO stuff, and especially if you are somebody like me who either feels that pressure to like be constantly working, or if you've taken one of those FIFO jobs that have a less balanced rotation anyway, like a 14-7 or 21-7, be very clear. I am going to give you advice that I just don't follow. That's what we're here for. Be very clear about why you're doing it. Like, are you doing the unbalanced rotation because it's extra money for you that you're putting towards a new house, or you're putting towards a vacation, or you're putting towards a wedding, or you're putting towards fucking debt, or you just like to shop and you need to support that lifestyle by doing the OT. But just keep that in mind, because it realistically is not going to be sustainable. Like, you're not going to be able to work those off balance rotations indefinitely, like unless you're a fucking robot, in which case, nope. Nah, I don't get it. But most of us, like, it's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable lifestyle, and it defeats the whole purpose of spending your time away, right? Like, if you're not actually achieving the goals that you're setting for yourself. So if you are doing fucked up shifts, or you are working stupid amounts of overtime the way that I am, for whatever reason, like, be clear about why, because I don't have anything specific that I'm doing with the extra money I'm getting from the shift, other than, like I said, it's going to be another fucking awful tax bill. I don't want to think about that. That makes my head pound worse than it already is. But I don't have a good reason for it. And so because I don't have a good reason, because I didn't want to do it in the first place, I'm getting like extra stressed about it. Little things are turning into big things, and I'm just fucking drained. You know what I mean? Like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, because I don't even know what fucking tunnel I'm in. So if I can give you one piece of advice when it comes to work-life balance, or lack thereof, really, or struggling with work-life balance, it's have a good fucking reason for why you're burning yourself out, or putting yourself in the line of fire to be burnt out. Because if you don't even have a good reason, then you're just gonna be like me, and you're gonna be sitting at home with no power on a rainy day, wondering what to do with yourself, because your whole identity is work, which is boring. Boring. Ain't nobody got time for that. I have a therapist, obviously, who I talk to about all this shit, and he gives really good advice that I need to learn to take better, obviously. He always tells me to set boundaries and make sure I'm like firm with my boundaries. And that's all well and good when I'm like at home and trying to like woo-saw and recoup myself. But I really struggle when I get physically to work and I'm in that environment, and like it kind of goes against what I'm used to, because that's what I've built up this far, is constantly being available and going above and beyond and putting like the job above myself, basically. So if you have any like advice on how to make sure I do respect those boundaries, please leave it below. I know I can't be the only one that like struggles with this. If you're struggling with it too, my heart goes out to you. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's a tricky little world navigating life as a woman in trades. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm going to shut this down because my throat is on fire and my head is fucking pounding and I need a nap. I'm so fucking tired. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new, I hope you come back again. There will be a video at some point. We just don't know when. Won't lie to you, but I will do my damnedest. Any helpful tips and tricks down below would be greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed any part of this, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up so that I know I'm on the right track and I know that it's cool to make more of these kinds of videos. Defeats the purpose of doing them if nobody gets anything fucking useful. So thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you wanna play that fucking game of Russian roulette and never know when the fucking next video is coming, never know what chamber has the bullet. It's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Oh yeah, most importantly, it's been so long since I've done these that I forgot like my favorite part. Don't forget to be a cupcake in a world full of muffins, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!